If you clicked on this video, you wanted to do one or two things. One is that you wanted to generate consistent leads for your business on social media. Or two, you wanted to find what's the next viral algorithm hack that can be able to blow up your business. Well, let me give you this misconception. After 6 years of being in the social media space, growing to multiple accounts to over 600,000, 400,000, and the ways that I was able to build a 10K account has been able to make me six figures in less than 6 months. And it's from the exact system that we've been able to duplicate for many businesses that have been able to reach to 6 to 7 figures a month through this simple process. So in this video, I'm going to break down the entire system that you can be able to duplicate in your business. And I'm telling you that if you implement this onto your marketing, you will finally stop having to post more. You will spend less time on trying to market all the time, and you will spend less money. So if you want that, then listen up as I'll be breaking everything down. Now, I broke it down into 4 parts that it's so simple that anyone could be able to do. We've helped a lot of our clients be able to transform their marketing. They used to do referrals only, cold outreach. They were struggling with getting consistent leads every month. And just by implementing this, it is now going to over hundreds of leads a month. So with this system, it definitely does work in a lot of different areas. So I've broken it down to everything from the 4 things that create consistent clients. And if that is something that you want to be able to do, because here's the thing, if you came for viral sensation, you can go the other way, because here's the thing, I don't like to waste my time on posting on social media. I like to post that makes me money, because the thing is that it's a lot of work. And you are seriously, just the amount of times that you're posting, you're getting yourself in your own rat race by how much you're marketing. So after 6 years of being in the space, I've been able to condense it into a simple formula where you can post less, you can spend less money, and as well create further impact and lead generation just by utilizing this exact system that we've been duplicating for our business owners again and again, and it keeps working, that it's so damn good. And this is all going to be for free. I'll lay you out the entire system. So let's get started in exactly this process. It's going to be very simple. It's a 4-step to be able to create consistent clients. Now, and these 4 steps are to fascinate, educate, invite, and transform. But before we be able to go to dive a bit deeper onto exactly these fundamental pieces, let's break it down a little bit further on exactly the things that you are needing for your business to be able to grow tremendously in terms of marketing. That is offer clarity, positioning strength, and system reliability. Now, before we get started, I want to be able to take a second to be able to grade yourself. Find what is actually going to be, the ways of what you would rate yourself. Let's be honest. You don't want to sugarcoat it. You actually want to give the tangible ways of, how you currently are. So grab a pen. Let's score yourself before we continue forward, so you can see what are actually your constraints in your business, and we can have more focusing on those things. So gut score, don't overthink about it. Let's get to it. So do you struggle to explain what you do? Give it a 1. Or a 5, people instantly get what you do and it clicks. Rate yourself 1 through 5, do it quick. All right, positioning strength. Let's go to that one. So 1, you feel like another face online, all right? That's bad. Or 5, people come to you because they know that you're the obvious choice. Gut instinct, what would you truly rate yourself in your business? All right, 1 through 5. All right, now let's go to system reliability. 1, leads feel random, not really consistent, it comes and goes. Or 5, your pipeline runs no matter how busy you are. Now, I want you to do kind of get the numbers that you kind of rate yourself 1 through 5 and add it all together. Pause this video, come back whenever you added it all together. So once you got that, I want you to kind of take a look at that score. So if your total is 10 or less, your business is running on luck. I'm just giving you the truth reality whenever it comes to it. Or if you're under an 8, it's running on fumes. And if it's under a 6, it's already stalling and you're just pretending it's fine. But here's the thing, we're going to solve every single issue, and I'll show you the exact system frameworks to be able to use to make sure that every single one of these are a 5. So let's get through it. And here's the problem that I see time and time again from a lot of these business owners, and they fall into this route. They go into a ways of delivery, collapse, panic, post, and onboard. And it's this constant overlying areas of just having to keep staying afloat. And you don't escape this with motivation, you escape it with systems. And so, if you want to be able to stop getting into this constant burnout, always trying to be able to generate further leads, having to wonder when it's going to come, and always having to fix on what's going to work, what's going to not, having to look at trends, this is basically going to diminish all of that. And here's the thing, I used to be overlooked, overbooked, and basically overwhelmed every single day. I was posting daily, I was trying to look confident, stay consistent, and I realized that it was so draining. Like, marketing for your own business is very time consuming, very draining, and it's hard to do it, especially if maybe you're a one man or woman show. And none of it was really moving the needle for me, and I had to make a shift. And when I built this one simple acquisition funnel, clarity just came. I can't even explain to you. Like this has definitely changed my life, because now it's consistent lead flow. I'm overbooked. I have qualified leads, and I'm able to run my business in peace, in clarity, and also to be able to give other people that peace and clarity. Because it's not about what you're doing, it's what you don't know. And what you don't know can really change the trajectory of your business. And here's the thing, I have been there and done that. For the past 6 years, I have failed more than I succeeded. And I have gone through every single route, and I've gone through every single failures that I could possibly imagine. And the reasons why I stand here within confidence of how this is built is because it seriously had changed my life, and it changed so many other business owners that it gets me so excited to see other people get their business impacted, because I thought I needed to do more when actually I needed to do less and simplify this whole process. Now, once we go into this, the three different things that we kind of pointed out, let's kind of break those down step by step. And those are what's really important. Of course, we'll talk about the client funnel a little bit in the end, but we can create the best funnel in the world, I'm telling you. But if we don't have these aligned, then everything else is not going to work. So the reason we're going to put the client funnel to the end is because we need to optimize this before we jump to the next level. It's the only way that everything is going to work in accordance and you are going to reach that next level of income goal. All right. So here's the thing with an awful formula. We're going to break it down piece by piece. So if you have a vague offer, it attracts vague buyers. Individuals like, I don't know if this is right for me. I'm not really sure. I feel like I have to think about it. Let me ask my wife, my husband. No. And that is entirely about how you're positioning the offer. And so I kind of take it and look at an example of this. Like, a bad way to kind of like have your offer is like, I help you elevate your finances. However, let's switch it around. Let's put it into the good offer. I help solopreneurs build a 12-month cash plan that eliminates surprises, expenses, and increases take-home pay by 20 to 30%. Now, I don't know about you, but that makes me want to sign up as well. Do you not see the difference whenever it comes to it? One is more in-depth, intentional, and the other one is very vague. And a vague buyer does not buy. So I want you to be able to look at this and see for yourself. Now, this is the exact formula that you can be able to reciprocate for your offer. I help person get results in timeline without common frustration. So I want you to pause this video and say your offer in one sentence using this formula. I help blank person get blank results in blank timeline without blank common frustration. So pause, write it down. Let's go back to it. So here's the thing. The offer needs to sell itself. The reasons why I'm not good at sales, I can already say, like, I suck at selling. However, I always get closes. And it's not because I've learned a huge sales technique. It's because I have the offer so irresistible that it sells for yourself, that you would be dumb not to be able to get this offer in your business. That is how your positioning for your offer needs to be online. And so, more importantly, once you kind of written this down, let's find a way that we can be able to optimize it and go through it together. And so I can walk you step by step and actually show you the exact way and how to frame it. Because if you don't have it right now, completely fine. Let's go through this. So, what your offer, your phrase needs is a clear promise. So, if your promise is vague, your income will be vague. Just kind of like referencing on. And if you come to this hesitation, it's like, well, I help everyone and I help, I don't know who. Like, it is just about the transformation. What is the transformation that you're able to provide for the clients that work with you on a constant basis? Now, ways to be able to look at the difference between the two is like book more clients. Cool. All right. Still very vague. Now let's go to the next one. Add 5 new clients a month. Now that's something that is tangible. You put a number behind it. All right. Or it could be get consistent leads. Mm, mm. Or get 30 to 50 inbound leads a month. That's tangible. People actually see it. Because when you can envision it for those audience, this is what you can do for them. They feel more likely to be able to achieve it. And so that's why they will want to work with you. And so everything is always like you have to tell them the path, the journey. What is the promise that you're able to give to them? All right. So that's really important to be able to break that down. Now, name your process. That's the next step whenever it comes to building your irresistible offer. So you want to be able to keep it 3 to 4 steps. Just like this video, I had it where it was 4 steps to get consistent clients. Now, the thing with that is that I kept it very simple. There's obviously multiple intricate steps to be able to get into it, but we need to simplify the process to 3 to 4 steps. And so I always like to put this as like the grandma test. All right. So I want you to do is basically imagine when you have your steps down 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, go to your grandma and ask her, is this something that you could be able to tell back to me? And so if she's not, then the process is not dumbified. If it is, then the steps are good. So taking that into consideration, do the test, see if that works, because we just had to dumbify the processes to make it simple, tangible, and also that they can do it. Okay. So a good example of kind of like steps that I do, it's like step 1, sharpen the offer, clear, straight to the point. Step 2, position the content, what we're going to be going through. And step 3, install the acquisition system. So there's steps within the steps, but as you guys can see, this is the process of what we're doing. Clear, simple, and straight to the point. Now let's go to target identity. Now, who is the target audience that you're trying to reach? Speak to them. All right, call them out. They want to feel like they're being heard. And so this could be busy CEOs, new coaches, mom. Have a clear identity. You will have clear buyers. They will build further trust. Make sure that you implement that into the areas of breaking down the clear offer. Next one, timeline section. All right. I truly believe this is what 4x my business by putting a timeline for everything. People like to know exactly how much time it gets them to achieve X result. Now, it was actually like done for Uber. Uber used to like not have how much wait time it had before the driver used to get there. And then once they made that small shift to show, hey, 10 to 15 to 20 minutes away, they were more likely to be able to wait over 40 minutes than from somebody that was not given the time and only waiting 10 minutes. It's because buyers, the viewers, have control with what they should expect. So give them the expectation of the time frame, the results of what they're going to get. So in 8 weeks, in 12 weeks, in 30 days, give them the time. Hey, in 30 days, you're going to have the best abs ever. Obviously not realistic. Be realistic. But I'm saying that once I tell you that, you're like, okay, I need to only do this for 30 days. All right, sign me up. So implement a time frame. This could be 90 days. It could be 6 months. However, that you're able to get your results in the time frame that it takes, put that down. All right. Like I say, they don't buy the promise, they buy the timelines. So we finally have been able to clear out into the offer. Now, once you go through this process, be able to revise on the offer formula that you have created. So more importantly, I was actually working with one of my clients, Justin. Justin's a great guy. And he actually had always wanted to be able to impact people within fitness. The thing was, he wanted to help everyone. We basically just did is we narrowed down on his offer and who he was targeting and what were the formulas and what was going to get him in that next result. He was getting no clients. By the time we launched the offer in less than 2 weeks, he was able to close 8 clients just by how we changed the offer. All right. Huge difference from his business. He was happy. I was happy. We all win. Win-win situation. Now let's go to the next step. We have just finished on the ways of offer. We finished the offer. Now it's going to go into the next step, which is the content triangle, I like to call it. These are the fundamental, most important things that you guys should be implementing for the content. Now, on these are going to be a little bit different than what individuals say. This content triangle is going to be the one that creates demand. And we'll look at the systems of how that's going to be implemented for clients. But this is the 3 hugest impactful content pieces that you should focus on. Don't focus on the trending content. Don't focus on whatever is going viral right now. Like, we're not trying to waste our time. I'm trying to get you rich. So with that in mind, this is what creates demand. Now, authority. What is an authority piece content? It's basically like, don't listen to them. Hey, don't listen to them. Listen to me. With the authority piece content, it's basically positioning yourself of debunking other industry trends, giving your personal take on certain things, be able to give your systems, your methods, 3-part system, 4-part system that we created before in the offer, utilizing that, created your own unique name. People are going to understand and be like, wait, what is that? I want that implemented in my business. You see how it works? And then from there, just kind of having that ways of how can you just differentiate yourself in a crowded market? Because here's the thing, we're not back in 2019 when someone could just blow up very easily for a B-roll and a trending audio. It's saturated. However, it's still an amazing time to be able to market. It's just having to position it a bit differently. All right. So authority content, being able to get them to say, hey, don't listen to them, listen to me. I know what we need to do. Okay. Next one, educational. All right. So this is, of course, you need to educate them on your information, what you do, how you do it. Because the only reasons for this is that a cold email guy is going to say, this is the best way to be able to generate leads. A ads agency guy is going to say, this is going to be the best way to generate leads. A organic social media influencer is going to say, this is the best way to generate leads for your business. There's ways to be able to get to dream results. It's just preference. It is just in the areas of, all right, now which vertical are you going to take? All right. So with the educational, it's really good because you're able to give them those small wins. So when you're able, I like to take an example like this. I like to say as like stepping stones. So it's like they have stepping stones, and what you're doing is basically the person's right over here and he's like, I know nothing. I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about cold emails. I'm just, I can't go anywhere with this. And then you basically just say like, hey, here's the 3 steps to set up your own email campaign. Cool. Now they just went further up. They're like, wow, I feel like I got this, but now I'm running to another problem. I need to get this. Oh, cool. All right. You are just solving it by educating them. Here's the process of how to do it. All right. Don't make it into a blog. It's basically like simple, quick, and effective. All right. Because people are not trying to have sitting into a whole long video unless you're, of course, doing YouTube and you actually want to learn like the good stuff. But like in short form content, concise, like always cut it down and keep it short. But this is the best way I can kind of say within the educational content is the ways of how you're creating that content. All right. One useful idea they can apply today. So they have those small micro wins and they're stepping stones to be able to reach, obviously, as your offer, because your offer can do it for them. And, happy client, happy life. Next, embodiment content. I live what I teach. Embodiment content is super important because you practice what you preach. I'm a stickler that maybe call me a little bit sideways, but I only like to trust individuals that practice in what they preach, especially because they've gone through it. They know the experience. They've done the results for themselves. It's hard for a marketing agency to say and give me advice on what I should do within my business if they can't even generate leads for their own business. So that's really just showcasing a lot of practice what you preach, but at the same time too, storytelling content because you have to get that emotional area to connect with your audience and find this way where we have this relatable point. Relatability is super important. And especially, in all the education in the world, education is abundant. But if I tell you a little bit about my story, about where I've come from, how I grew up, you'll find a deeper connection with myself because you can find something that you can relate with myself. It's regardless in how it works in every single thing. So, incorporating that. Now, this is going to be the exact thing for the content triangle of what you need to implement for your social media. Let's get that. We're good. On to the next one. And, more importantly, whenever implementing this, so we did this for one of our clients, Crystal, and she was always doing like the viral content very much. I love her to death. Very amazing, wholesome individual. What we basically did is I had to switch her entire content strategy. We did everything completely different from the viral trending content, and we switched it entirely to educational, authority, and embodiment content, telling her story, as well giving like real estate like breakdowns, and of course positioning yourself as go-to. She is now able to close 4 closes a month through just the content system that we switched for her. And people have told her the reason why I decided to go with you is because I heard your story and I connected with it. She was shocked. We knew that that was going to happen. So amazing. Love her. Let's get into the next one. This is going to be the client engine. I had to write it down, definitely just because there's not a lot that my brain wanted it to work with this flow process. Now, exactly what we started in the very beginning of how you're going to be able to get this client engine to be able to facilitate and run and get it going. Now, your engine that we're about to create for you is going to be the ones that turns this demand into clients. We created the irresistible offer. We created the content types that you're needing to post. And then now we're going to build the engine that's going to actually turn those into paying clients. All right. So within that, let's break it down piece by piece. First, we got to fascinate. We got to build the attention and attract the ideal viewers who are going to buy your offer. And so what I would like you to be able to do is post one reel a day. You can do it Monday through Friday. You can do it 7 days out of the week. You just want to be able to get in the habit. You can do it 3 times a week. Then also too is to be able to do 1 or 2 active follow ads. So this is very low cost, but it's more to help, especially on accounts that maybe don't have a lot of friction, especially in the organic game, definitely have tremendous results. But it's kind of that area to push the algorithm to being like, hey, I want these people to view my account, and, builds that traction, especially if you haven't posted in a long time. And so from that, that's how you can be able to generate new follows. And this is where you can start building that traction. Now let's go into the next ways of how we can start getting that traction to then turn into some leads for you. So with that leads, we can be able to do 1 or 2 things. First is through more of the organic side, and that's through utilizing ManyChat, lead magnets. So what are lead magnets that you can be able to use? It's anything from using any free value, actually utilizing YouTube and getting short form content to then get a ManyChat automation trigger to then view your long form content. Chef's kiss onto that. And then we're going to just educate them. And now that we finally got these viewers, they don't know who you are, where you're coming from. Now it comes to let me educate you onto why this process is going to help you, how this is going to be beneficial for you, your business, however you see fit, and what makes my offer unique, that this is why you need to pay me. Awesome. Very simple ways. So how we can be able to educate on what we do in our process, posting 1 YouTube video a week. All right. So this can be anything from just educating, breaking it down. And especially if you're doing a lot more of higher ticket clients, this is very necessary. Yeah, I would say the lower the ticket is, the less friction that you need. But the higher the ticket, the more that you need to have them view more content of yourself. So 1 YouTube video, as well as a YouTube VSL. So what is that? The YouTube VSL is basically a redirection on giving them the formula, the system, the breakdown, and redirecting to then be able to book a call with you and learn further of your process, join a community, however the call to action is. But it's really important because then you're able to give them this whole breakdown and then, of course, be able to transition if they want to be able to have this implemented, if they want to learn the secrets or have this, all the systems frameworks, then to be able to go to the next section, which is the call to action to work with you. All right, a really smart way to get that formulated. That's what we use for our clients, and even some of the members that we do teach is that YouTube VSL. And then as well as a direct ad. So this is going to be a lot of going into a direct book call, a little bit more of the cold leads, but at least whenever it comes to the cold leads, what we do in the nurturing process, especially with the email and SMS automations that we set in place within Go High Level, is that we tell them, hey, go consume this, go consume that. So it's super important that, like, especially if you're doing a direct and only relying on ads itself, is that they need to see further content. They need to be able to consume more information of why this is going to be valuable. Why is that? So you can spend less time on having to sell them, and you can finally make it where your content sells itself. All right. That's the reason for it. And that's why it's the combination of ads and organic that is so powerful, that can generate you a tremendous amount of results. We don't do one or the other. We combine them both because it is like a tango, especially in the social media space. And so once we educate them on the different resources on educating, this is where we've turned them, these prospects, into an invite. I didn't say like a sales or a close, because you're inviting them. I take it into the situation that the individuals who I work with, like, I invite them to want to work with me, but it's never I'm trying to hard sell you, because the thing is that I know that my offer is valuable, that it's either whether you want to grow your business or not. That's just kind of the ways of positioning this and how it should be, because your offer should be so irresistible that you're inviting them to be able to get this done, a happier solution, a easier path, a dream desire that they've been holding on. All right. So that's the ways to do it. Not a hard close, not a hard, like, you sell this, guys. You invite them that if they want to transform their lives, then there's a link to be able to talk to you further about it. All right. And the ways to be able to get these prospects and start turning them into clients is through a couple things. We like to do a VSL landing page. So especially with the direct cold ads, we get them integrated into a VSL landing page. Very simple to book a call. We have a qualifying form, and that's how we invite them to be able to learn further about the offer and so forth. As well, this is a really valuable asset that we have implemented. Lovely. An email course. Now, what is that? It's basically just nurturing, but saying it as a course. You're basically breaking down on what you would do on like the YouTube VSL and breaking it down into a email 10-day, 15-day email, just breakdown of everything. Now, we did this because, more importantly, we get so many people who are getting our lead magnets that then we can nurture them to then want to book a call to then learn more about how we can show and tell them exactly what that whole email course was and have it all implemented for them, or learn the whole entire frameworks for them. So a really good nugget. And then as well is that we want to make story and content announcements. So this is where you're going to do direct call to actions into your content, as well as stories, make a direct sell. And those are the ways that you're going to be able to invite them to close. Of course, there's two different ways to be able to do is to invite them to DM you to learn further information, and to, as well, a direct to book a call. Of course, you want to make sure that you qualify them, especially with the high ticket offers, is that you want to make sure that you're really specific on the forms, so you're not wasting time on sales calls, because you will get a lot of leads, and the matter is vetting the good ones to the bad one. But of course, that's going to be the offer and the messaging of what you create within your content and so forth. Now that we turn these into clients, we can finally be able to transform them. This is really powerful. We have one offer with different tiers. So especially whenever you have all these different leads that are now coming in, you want to have different opportunities or different tiers to be able to solve for different solutions. So there's the do it yourself, there's the do it with you, and there's the do it for you. Especially in a service base, those are so many different opportunities that you can be able to do on that. So say that you have different planners or ChatGPT bots or something that they're able to save time and execute it on their own, that can definitely be a do it yourself. The reasons to have this is not to confuse the buyers on like what they should buy. It's basically guiding them to the journey on where they're at and what stage that they're in. So any prospects that you get, you're able to close all of them because you're able to see where they're at and provide the best solution for them. So that's another ways that we've been able to kind of like break that down. These three fundamentals, don't overcomplicate it. One offer, different tiers. One offer, it could literally just be, it's the same thing, but the only difference is you either have the team to do it for them or they learn it themselves while going through the same system, or you have less of that. So don't overcomplicate whenever it comes to the one offer in different tiers. And then, of course, what we want to make sure whenever it gets to us is we have the 3 steps to create the repeat cycle over and over again. Happy clients, happy life. You know how they say happy wife, happy life, happy clients, happy life. Most importantly, I like to say that. So the 3 steps are going to be get wins, get transformations, and get interviews. We're not here just trying to close them and always trying to find every single month to be able to close new clients. All right. My clients stay with me forever. They stay with me for years because the reason is that I built such a great relationship. I have helped them and we're always evolving to what's that next step. And never it's like, this is what you get. Because we're in it to see you win, because the mission and goal of what we do is to basically help you impact other individuals. So that is basically everything in how it goes with creating a client engine on repeat. This is where you're finally going to have it where you're not having to cold pitch clients, be able to convince them to want to work with you, but how this situation is going to create demand where they want to work with you, not the other way around. So that's why you're inviting them. You're not trying to hard close them onto individuals who don't know who you are. Very valuable, really great stuff, especially like implementing onto this. So especially more importantly, this is exactly what we've been able to do. We did this actually for Landon, great individual. He is a financial advisor. We did this whole situation where first it was a little bit of bottleneck. He was working with the agency that was just doing short form content 24/7 and no views, flatline, no leads from it whatsoever. We did this direction and approach onto it's coming to the area. He's hiring more team members. He is overbooked and he's like going into this area where he never thought he would get a single lead because he has very like high level individuals, 7-figure, 8-figure business owners of who he tracks. We created the system. He's a happy camper. We're going into different avenues of what he can do, speaking also as well as podcasts. Really great individual. I'm telling you, implementing this is not only going to help you on your business, there's further opportunities to be able to scale as well. And people want to learn from your success, which I think is really fascinating. And, it was a different avenue. So more importantly, now what happens next? Now, hopefully you've been able to get some value into this video. If not, that just means that you were basically doing something else and not really paying attention for this, because a lot of this has some good things to be implemented. So what happens next when all 3 work together? So now that we've got broken down through everything, and the reasons why I took the time to be able to get this down is that you're going to finally have a clear offer. Your content is finally going to create demand and your engine turns it into clients. So this is what the social influence switch is about and what we implement for clients and what we help business owners be able to recognize on, what is actually holding them back in terms of lead generation. More importantly, it's not about this like posting and praying. You're not chasing and you're getting clients even whenever you're slammed. So saying like you're only focusing on fulfillment, your business is still going to work on the back end because, more importantly, we set it into times, we definitely make it where we save time, effective, and we're straight to the point. So when you kind of understand within the content system and you know what to create, how to create it, and what to say, you show up very easily. And also as well is that you finally have the whole system set in place. So regardless, if you stop on organic, the ads are going to be running. Regardless, for the ads, we still have the organic going to be able to work with you as well. So it's definitely this like evolving area that is always helping you reach your better goals. And if you actually want to have this like a little bit more broken down, I'm going to be hosting a workshop. And if you want to actually learn the implementations onto this and, have myself going through this with you in your business and showing you exactly live action of implementing the system, go on my Instagram, comment the word potato, and I'll send you more information about it so you can join and learn exactly how to get this and have some clarity, structure, and a lot of save time on getting your system going, especially in the online space. But other than that, I'll see you guys into the next video. And what other questions that you have, I'm always here to be able to help. Stay crushing it, and I'll see you guys later.